So hi there, we're Bob and Mary Lou on board Gallivant, and we want to give you a little tour of our wonderful Amel 54. So we might as well start right here in the cockpit. This Amel 54 is a 2006 model, and mostly it's original as Amel designed it and built it. Of course, we've repaired and replaced a lot of things over the years, but for the most part, everything's original Amel. So with the electronics, the original Furno NavNet system, the main one is at the nav station and the repeaters here at the helm. We've got the Raymarine autopilot, which below has a switch. You can select the rotary drive, which is underneath here, or the linear drive, which is under the bunk at the rudder post. The compass, the Volvo D3 110, 110 horse engine, main engine. The controls are here in the control panel. For left is the throttle. The bow thruster controls. The bow thruster moves up flush with the hull, moves back down. It's an 11 horsepower motor, so it's really a useful tool. Covered up here is the Lamar windlass control. These indicators I added, they're just idiot lights that come on when the water pump runs, when the bilge pump runs, or if the bilge alarm sounds, just to have a more visible and audible notice that something's going on if you're on passage at night and you can't hear the things run. Also to the left is the Furno VHF, which is the repeater here at the helm. The main one's down at the helm station, the nav station. All the sail controls are here. The wonderful Amel electric furling systems. The mainsail is the furler to bring the sail in and out, the out on the boom and the in the mast. The head sail, and you can control both primary winches, electric winches from here, and then the staysail furler, all electric furlers. Instruments up above are the original B&G instruments, the depth and meters, the boat speed and knots, the wind speed and knots, and the wind direction indicator. Other than that, that's kind of it. The helm seat. We built this custom Dodger with these panels that you can leave closed when the sun is too bright, but you can open them so you've got good visibility to trim sails and at night to watch the stars. Other than that, let's see, the electric winches, the primaries are electric, the secondaries are manual. The mizzen sail is not electric, but it's controlled right here. You put a winch handle in the furler and a winch handle in the outhaul, and you can move the sail in and out very easily right here from the cockpit in standing position. So when we're underway on passage, we do have to go out on deck at times, but not very often. The pole we'll look at in a minute. That's a little bit of work to set. That requires hands on deck. If we're putting up any of our extra sails like the Jenniker or the Parasailer, we need to get out on deck and rig those. But for most of our sailing, it's from the safety of the cockpit. And we have made passages where days go by and we don't leave the cockpit. So it's a pretty safe, comfortable boat. The cockpit enclosure, we don't have any of it in right now, but we have sunscreens that go in all 4 positions around. And we have a total enclosure so you can stay dry. If it's raining while you're on passage, or if you're hard on the wind, you're getting spray. Or if you're downwind and you're getting spray or rain, we can enclose it. And we'll frequently enclose maybe one side and the back, so we have nice ventilation, but it keeps us dry. So we put the panels in as needed for a comfortable ride. So let's take a walk around the deck and we'll show you. It's all basic Amel, but for those that aren't familiar with Amels, we'll give you a little guided tour. The main sheet, or the Genoa sheets come through the block, and the block's movable by these line winches, which are real handy to move your cars forward and aft to adjust your sail shape. If we move forward, you'll see The windshields are open right now, which is great ventilation. The main sheet traveler is easy to move from a line drive that's right in the cockpit. These are your staysail blocks. When we rig the staysail for sailing, the sheets come through to the secondary winches. For staysail, we also rig the running backstays, which now they're stowed because we're at anchor right now. The main mast, you can see the furling motors. The motor inside here is the outhaul motor that pulls the sail out. This motor is the furling motor that rolls the sail back into the mast. If we move forward, you can see all our ground tackle. Again, standard Amel. We've got 2 Lamar windlasses, and for us, the main windlass, the main anchor, there's 400 feet of chain, and the anchor's down right now because we're anchored. The secondary anchor is a plow. It's got 250 feet of chain. You can see the Baymar electric furlers. Never had a problem with them. They work pretty nice. There's one on the Genoa and one on the staysail. The forward deck hatch here is the bow locker. The bow locker is a watertight compartment, isolated from the rest of the boat. Contains the bow thruster that moves up and down on an electric motor. And we store all our fenders, dock lines, extra anchor lines in there. And the chain lockers are accessible through that compartment as well. So it's a really handy place to store a lot of stuff. Stays dry, but it's easily accessible. If we walk back port side, you'll see the 2 lockers here. Forward one is a nice deep locker for propane. It's a vented locker to store gas. So we've got 2 20-pound propane tanks in there to feed the stove. And we also store our extra dinghy gas in there. So I've got a couple dinghy gas cans, and I store the extra oil in there as well. Next locker aft is our life raft locker. We have an 8-person life raft that's in a satchel, and it's pretty heavy to lift out, but I think if you really need to use it, adrenaline would help you get that out of there when you needed it. Attached to the life raft is a ditch bag, and we also store our hose in there for our dock hose, and our big power cord, shore power cord is stored in there. And to the aft, we've got our mount for our outboard. Whenever we travel, we put the outboard on the rail. And for coastal cruising, short hops, day sails, the dinghy goes in the davits, the electric davits. It's pretty simple to lift it up and put it away. When we go offshore for extended cruising, we'll put the dinghy upside down on the aft deck and secure it, just because it makes me nervous to have it in the davits when you're out in some weather. But easy to handle. And the aft lazarette, which I fondly refer to as the garage, is just a huge space. In there we have 2 full-size folding bicycles. We've got 3 extra sails. Our Gennaker, our mizzen staysail, and our parasailer are all stored in here. We've got an extra 15 horsepower outboard motor with the fuel tank empty. We've got fishing gear, we've got scuba tank, we've got lawn chairs, just all the stuff you normally stow in a garage. We've got it. Our barbecue, rail-mounted barbecue, and I fixed up a 10-pound tank that fuels it, and it lasts us more than a year, that tank. We use the barbecue frequently. There's our man overboard module on this side. And that about completes the outside tour. Oh, one thing I want to point out about this Amel 54, which is unique, if you look at the aft cabin, this large hatch over top of the main bunk, that's an addition. A standard Amel 54 doesn't have that hatch. But as you lay in bed, the breeze comes in right down on you. It's a wonderful addition to comfort.
So now we're in the main cabin. We'll start with the galley. The galley has a sink, 4-burner Eno stove with oven and broiler, 2 dry lockers underneath the cabinets. We have refrigerator number 1, we call it, and then this chest refrigerator freezer. And also in the salon we have a full chest freezer. We have our 24 volt panel, our 230 volt panel, generator panel, and this has our Xantrex, which monitors the batteries, and we have under counter lighting, which was custom installed. We also have our water maker control panel and lots of storage. And moving on the port side, we have the nav station with the chart table and our electronic equipments, including the Furuno chart plotter, the single sideband, our AIS, and the GPS navigator, and a secondary VHF radio. And now the salon, we have the 2 seats on this side. Again, lots of storage. If you're familiar with an Amel, you know that. There's also storage underneath the floorboards. And when we purchased the boat, we had custom curtains and refinished the cushions in the salon. And moving forward to the forward cabin, there are 2 bunks on the starboard side with a fold-up bunk here. All the bunks in the entire boat have lee cloths or lee boards. There's also a cabin on the port side, again with plenty of storage, and there's actually storage underneath the bed. There's a hanging locker in that cabin also, and this cabin can be en suite with the door that closes for any guests that you have on board. Forward of the cabin, we have the forward head, which includes the toilet, sink, shower. Also, our washing machine is in here and our dryer. Now let's walk back through the boat and head to the stern. So again, on the starboard side, we have a hanging locker, and our inverter, our 1800 watt Xantrex inverter, is mounted in that hanging locker. As we move aft, we have the crew cabin with a crew bunk, storage. Battery bank is underneath the crew bunk. And then we have again a hanging locker, which we're using for our laundry right now. In the master cabin, there's a queen size bed, which we fitted with a custom mattress, and the vanity table, which I use as a desk. And again, there are some outlets back here that are 110 that Bob has installed. We have 3 air conditioners, 1 in the aft cabin, 1 in the main cabin, and 1 in the forward cabin. The aft cabin also has its own head with the toilet, sink, and a full shower.